get a lot of questions about where I find the wood used in my projects, especially the crushed glass Christmas trees. Would you believe I have not spent a single cent on any wood for my projects? Let me show you what I use. I am not ashamed to say that I'm a very prolific trash picker. I drive around and I look for things that I can use. I mean, there's people that are throwing away things all the time, whether it's little doorknobs or fishing poles or furniture that's been sitting out. I'm going to drag it home in my Jeep or my truck, and if I can fit it in my convertible, I'm going to bring it home. And look for construction sites too, but I always ask before I pick up anything at a construction site just to make sure that their trash pile is actually debris and not stuff that they're going to use later on. So I always ask. Now with furniture, normally I am not going to bring it home unless it's been sitting out for a little while and it's clear that no one wants it and they would actually use it. So I bring it home and I start taking it apart. If there's any piece of it that's solid wood, I will take it apart and be really careful not to, tear it up too much. If it's solid, I'm going to keep it. If it's pressed wood, I tend to put that in the trash or put it in the burn pile, because I would rather work with solid wood like pine or birch or anything like that. And I really can't believe that no one wanted this particular piece of furniture, but it wasn't a really well-built piece. It didn't have a lot of solid wood in it, but I did find some pieces that I could use for shelving boards, and then I also got a lot of pieces that I could use for artwork displays, so it was a good find. And this cabinet is from our mudroom remodel. It's in really good shape, but we can't use it really anywhere else. Even in my craft room, I couldn't use it. So the wood is pine shelving board. The whole cabinet was made out of pine shelving board, which is really good and it's expensive wood. So I took this thing apart and I pulled the nails out. And I'm going to reuse all this wood. I used these two particular pieces for a display board for my art show booth, and then a lot of the other wood I'm just going to take the nails out again, sand it smooth, and then repaint it to use in other projects. Now, my favorite type of wood to use in my projects, especially the crushed glass Christmas trees, are fence boards. Now, I don't sneak in my neighbors' backyards and steal their perfectly good fence boards. I promise you I do not do that. But I do look for discards. So if a neighbor is replacing their fence, if they have usable fence boards, I will load it up and take it home. There is always construction going on here. We live beachside. Someone is always replacing a fence with a storm, or they're just, making improvements to their dock or whatever. I will drag that wood home. I have a hoard, and I'm not going to call it a hoard. It's useful material, okay? But I do have quite a few marine grade plywood pieces. I have marine grade planks that I'm eventually going to make something in my garden too. So stay tuned. And then lastly, ask your lumber yard for culls. These are pieces that might have a little nick in the wood, or the board itself is warped and they can't sell it for full price. Sometimes they'll even give it to you or sell it to you at half price. So always ask.